Today is an absolutely beautiful day in sunny Palm Springs, and I thought it was the perfect time to do a driving tour from North Palm Springs all the way to South Palm Springs, just like I did for my Palm Desert driving tour video. If you haven't seen that, make sure you watch it. And at the end of this video, we are going somewhere that I have not been in a long time, and I'm kind of like, I can't believe I'm taking you guys there and telling you this story, so you're definitely going to want to stay tuned for that. So let's get started with the Palm Springs driving tour. If you haven't already noticed, I am at the base of the tramway in Palm Springs, and this is actually something that you should definitely check out if you're visiting the area. For one, it's a historic part of Palm Springs. Everyone knows about the tramway, but also it's just really neat. And in fact, it is the steepest ascent of any incline in North America at 8,500 feet in just 10 minutes in the world's only, I think I could be wrong, rotating tram car. So it's really neat, definitely fun to check out. Also, because this road behind me is such a steep incline, back in the day I actually did a marathon up this road, and you will also commonly see people biking up the tram road to get up to the parking destination where you get onto the, where you pay to get on the tram car. And trust me, it is a very steep incline. All right, and here we are getting started in North Palm Springs, like I said, by the historic Visitors Center as you're coming in off the 10 freeway. So let's get started. I also have my notes here, so I apologize if I look down a little bit. So we are gonna get started. A lot of people are stopped here to not only visit the Visitors Center, but to also look at some of the Desert X artwork. If you haven't watched my video that I did with Avery and Travis, you'll definitely want to make sure that you watch that. Like I said, this road goes all the way up to the tramway, and right up there is actually where they filmed a portion of the Don't Worry Darling in the movie called Don't Worry Darling. If you haven't seen it, it's actually really good. Kind of like Stepford Wives with a twist. So not too much going on in this northern part of Palm Springs. You do have some apartment complexes, you've got gas stations, you've got random shops and boutiques. We just passed probably the cheapest place to buy a tiny little condo in Palm Springs. And so that's Palm Springs Villas 1 and 2. You can find a 1-bedroom, 1-bath condo renovated for probably about $215. I'm gonna move this down just slightly. Just passing a Del Taco that I would frequent quite a bit after dance classes or when my mom didn't have food for dinner or anything prepped. A lot of these things are new. You've got some motels that have been renovated recently. Palm Springs still has some work to do. They still have empty buildings. You got dispensaries. That's very common out here in California. Just passing Boone's Hounds. Now, I have not been here yet, but I've heard that's a good destination. I just turned off my camera. To take your dogs. It's like an outdoor area where you can get a drink and bring your dogs and get lunch. I've heard that it's actually overpriced and not really worth it. So take that with a grain of salt. So I wanted to go up towards, on top of Vistachino. I had a friend that lived here back in the day. It looks like they're doing some road work. And she had a really nice house up tucked in the mountains here. This is another really great spot, but also can get pretty windy. Another fun fact about the tramway is that it was actually considered impossible to build until Francis Crocker, known as the father of the tramway, made it happen. Nearly 30 years of planning and construction. Also, one of these houses, and it could be this one that I'm passing right now, I'm not sure, this one with all of the ficus trees on the left-hand side. They filmed a scene from Ocean's 11. I think it was Ocean's 12, the second one, where they filmed a scene there. You can always tell these things, because I know our mountains for one, and I know our palm trees. You can't fake it. Very nice house on the left-hand side. All right, so we are going the right way. I remember going up this road as a teenager to go to my friend's house. Very tight roads through here. Looks like they're doing some construction, renovating some of the houses, because these houses are pretty old, so that doesn't surprise me. I'll be honest, I have not been up here in so long. It could be the house on the left-hand side, and back in the day, we would come up here and party as the millennials would do. I was never like a party person. But you know, senior year, your friend has a party at their parents' house while they're gone. And of course you're gonna go check it out, right? But I will say, and my mom would back me up, that I was a good kid. I did not do anything crazy. For one, I was too busy with dance. I was dancing like 6 hours a day to have any energy to be, you know, a little hoodlum. It might be this house on the left-hand side. But this is just, I mean, it's an amazing little spot. I mean, talk about quiet up here. It's going to be so quiet up here. But this will also get quite a bit of wind and dust. And then I've got some road work, so I am gonna take a turn. Even the lots up here run in like the millions. So it's pretty expensive. Okay, we're gonna continue going straight here. Gonna have a nice little view from the top of Palm Springs right now. It's a clear day. And as they say, on a clear day, you can see forever. If you haven't seen that movie, Barbra Streisand, big Barbra Streisand fan, loved all her movies, Hello Dolly, On a Clear Day, Funny Girl, all of those musicals. I love them. They're movies that I can watch over and over and over again. Just a little fun fact about me. So because this is an older area of Palm Springs, you do have homes that are kind of like, probably need some work and that haven't been taken care of very well. Pretty common, I think, for any area where homes are older. But it's good to see that they've paved the roads through here, and they're very tiny, like very narrow roads. I mean, if someone were to come up the other way, I'd probably have to pull over, or they would have to pull over. The infrastructure here is definitely like not the greatest, but so many very, very cool houses. Like this guy. Nice house right here. So now we're gonna continue on our trek, probably drive past Elvis's house, and then go downtown Palm Springs, just kind of keep going on, and then going to the very last place, which, oh gosh, a part of me is like, maybe I shouldn't tell anyone this story. But I think mostly because I don't want to offend anyone, but this is just something, this is what the kids called it. And obviously I'll try to give you the backstory. You know, in the best way, so it doesn't come off as offensive. And if it does, I apologize. If anyone knows me, everyone knows that I'm not an offensive person whatsoever. I love everyone. I love helping people. So, just gonna have to stay tuned. All right, now, driving downtown Palm Springs. This hotel arrived. They have really great pool parties there, if that's something that you're into. Pool parties are huge year down, like during the summer. A lot of boutique hotels through here. This Denny's on the right-hand side has been here forever. I used to come here back in the day when BB would hold his Halloween parties. God rest his soul. He was a promoter out here, and he would hold all of these parties throughout the desert. It'd be themed parties, New Year's Eve, Halloween, parties like that. Be done by like 1:30, 2 p.m. And then everyone would go to either the IHOP, which is now closed, unfortunately, or this Denny's, because this Denny's is a 24-hour Denny's.
And I had a feeling there was going to be either equipment malfunction or human error, and there was, so I lost one of my cameras. And so I'm just doing a voiceover. Right now we're passing Desert Regional Medical Center, and actually a lot of babies are born at Desert Regional. This is where I was born, and they are known for their top-notch delivery wing.
All right, so we're just driving into the movie colony right now. It's an area that got its name from all the Hollywood stars who made their desert hideaways here. Legendary residents include Frank Sinatra, Marilyn Monroe, and Cary Grant. Sinatra's former home, known as Twin Palms, is still standing, marked by those iconic twin palm trees at the entrance. So Marilyn Monroe's bungalow was here, and it was apparently her favorite retreat from Hollywood, where she could relax and escape the paparazzi. Now, as far as prices are concerned in this area, they range from like the high ones, low twos, all the way up to like the $6 million range. So these are $1 million homes here, $1 million plus homes in this area, because it's a historic movie colony.
We're turning back onto Palm Canyon. Lots of little shops through here, mid-century modern shops. The Trio restaurant on our right-hand side that we just passed has been there, gosh, long time. Lots of the older buildings through here. Right here we are passing the Palm Canyon Theater, which is where I will perform some of the plays that I've been involved with. And then on the right-hand side is Chicken Ranch that we're just now passing. And they are really great. I really love Chicken Ranch. Again, not one of those restaurants that's been here forever and ever and ever, but their portion sizes are really great. Some of the newer buildings are finally done in Palm Springs, so they're no longer eyesores. You got the Thompson. Just passing by the Las Casuelas, the original Las Casuelas, since 1958, I believe that's at. A lot of old buildings through here. Nothing has really changed in this general area. This is Old Palm Springs, and then we're passing the Hyatt, historic Hyatt. This is where my brother and his wife met. Crystal Fantasy, that's a really great, like if you're into rocks and crystals, it's a really fun place. Been there forever. The owners are extremely nice. So we've got New Palm Springs and Old Palm Springs. I've said this in like multiple videos that I've done about Palm Springs, how you've got like the high-rise buildings on one side, which is where the old Palm Springs Mall used to be, which no one ever went to. It's kind of vacant and an eyesore. And then the Old Palm Springs, which is on the left-hand side. Now I do want to go down Museum Way because I believe they moved Marilyn, and they did. I don't think they moved her very far. Marilyn used to be straight ahead right in front of the Palm Springs Art Museum. I don't plan on stopping in downtown Palm Springs, mostly because I feel like I've done so many videos. They literally moved her like 20 feet. She's right there. They just put her in the palm trees. That's kind of interesting that they did that. Mostly because like right in front, it seemed like she was just fine there. So I don't really know why they moved her.
On the right-hand side actually used to be the Starbucks, and they moved across the street because they needed a bigger building. They were constantly busy. You could hardly ever get in to the Starbucks right here. And this is actually where all of the high schoolers used to congregate during Village Fest, which is every Thursday, where they have the pop-up vendors and they sell their goods and services. And so all of the high schoolers would hang out like right here. All the cool high schoolers. I was not part of the cool crowd. I had my little clique, so to speak, for lack of a better term, of like 4 or 5 friends that we all hung out. We usually went to, which is no longer there, went to Ruby's Diner and shared like French fries and ranch, which is like our go-to thing. Popular high schoolers would congregate right here, and then the security would always have to come and like break them up because it was considered loitering. Now this, for me, like this is the heart of downtown Palm Springs right here. Redoing the Plaza Theater. You've got dress shops. There used to be a $14 only dress shop, and now it's like a $20 only dress shop. Used to be a Ruby's Diners, now it's Jimmy B's. You still have the C's Candy. You've got the Cigar Lounge. It's been there forever. Again, I've done a tour about downtown Palm Springs. I'm not gonna really do too much or say anything new that you probably have not heard in some of my other videos. Palm Springs General Store, this place has been here, I mean, forever. I don't think it's ever been anything else. Kaiser Grill, historic spot. Lulu's, I really like Lulu's. Passing my favorite crepe place, I am so tempted to stop right now. Village Pub, if you want nightlife, downtown Palm Springs, Village Pub is the place to go. It used to be Village Pub, now I think it's just called the Village or the Pub. This building across the street on our right-hand side actually used to be vacant for a very, very, very long time. But now it's a Bevmo, and they've got some other little shops in there too. Now, if you haven't seen my Palm Springs biking tour, where my friend Allison and I rented bicycles, we also went through Old Las Palmas and the Palm Springs area, went by Elvis Presley's house. I was going to in this video, but I passed it, just kept going. Palm Canyon's a runway road, and I just kind of kept going straight. But that's a fun little video to check out. We biked kind of this whole area. Now, on the right-hand side, we're passing Hair of the Dog, which it actually used to be called the Warehouse. Back in the day, that's where a lot of the kids kind of hung out, and it was this big warehouse that sold records and CDs and movies. And it was kind of this hip place for the 90s kids to go and find vinyls and records. But it's no longer that. Now it's a pub or a bar. They've got a ton of pool tables in there. They do bowling league. I just wanted to go in here just because it's older. There's not really much that's changed through here. You've got a pastry place. I've never been there, but my mom and my niece and nephew swear by it. And then you also have Palm Greens Cafe. Really, really good on the pricier side because everything's organic. And you have Revivals. Great spot to go to if you're looking for vintage pieces, resale pieces in Palm Springs. And right here used to be the Zelda's. It used to be a nightclub. It was like one of those nightclubs, and we're passing it on the right-hand side. Now it's a like a theater now. And but Zelda's actually used to be in North Palm Springs, and then they moved to this location, and it was kind of not like the most upscale place in the world. Every time I went, the floors were so sticky. It was just like one of those places that just wasn't high end, and it was kind of tacky, and so were their floors, because you'd like stick to their floors. So I'm gonna keep going south here, doing some road work. Desert Hand Car Wash, that place has been there forever. If you want like an authentic hand car wash, people swear by that place. Look it up online. It's got tons and tons and tons of great reviews. You have Rocky's Pawn Shop. This place has been here. I mean, I was born in 86. Fine, tell everyone my age. I was born in 86, and so a lot of these places are like, they were here before I got here, and they were never not anything else. Some places have kind of turned over. This place on the right, it used to be a KFC. And then it was an A&W at Root Beer on Tap, which is my grandma's favorite, but now that's gone. It's just like a vacant building. And unfortunately, you have a lot of vacant buildings in Palm Springs still. Passing newer construction, Cody's Place, and then Alon. For those who watched my construction video, I wasn't even allowed to take any content in there. But like a lot of these buildings that line Palm Canyon right here, they're all vacant commercial buildings. You got some hotels. Got one on the left, chain link fences. You've got a liquor place, Desert Lodge, another motel. Got a Pizza Hut that's actually still open, actually. A lot of this used to be a Stein Mart in there, and just, again, a lot of empty buildings, unfortunately. Got older buildings through here. El Mirasol is a really nice restaurant. You do have Eisenhower Health right here, which is great. So now we're essentially in South Palm Springs now. Best Western, got a motel. You got the Mr. Lyons, which is a really fancy restaurant. You're talking maybe $100 a person if you want drinks. Passing by Morton's Botanical Garden, which I've actually never been there, and maybe we will take a stop and we will go there. Figured, why not? We're passing by. I have not been here. I've heard it's beautiful. It was founded in 1938, and it apparently has like over 3,000 native plants to the area. So we are going to take a step inside Morton's Botanical Garden. They give you a little map and everything. Like a little hike. Love it when these cactus are blooming and their flowers. They're just so pretty. And apparently you can eat the ones that are red. Just to give you a feel for how big this plant is, it's bigger than my hand. It's massive. It's even taller than me. Well, that was a fun little stop, and I've never been there. It's smaller, I think, than what people have said before about it, but you know, you go there for the ambiance and the fact that it's just a historic place for Palm Springs. Again, it's been here since the 30s. My AC in my car is pumping so hard right now because it's warm. And, you know, best time to always just park in the shade out here. But I wanted to go quickly in this little area called the Mesa. I love this little spot, kind of comparable to the other place that we drove through, Chino Canyon in northern Palm Springs. But this is in South Palm Springs. Pretty much the same thing. You do have a lot of mid-century modern homes here. You've got a lot of interesting homes here as well. Home prices through this area, you can get a lot for $750K. Not a lot, but like an actual lot, like dirt. You can get dirt for $750K to about 1.2 million, depending on the size of the lot. Or you can get a house in like the twos. There's one that's a little bit down the way for like 1.3, I think. But generally, like, you're not gonna get a house under $1 million in this area. It's just not gonna happen unless it's like decrepit and falling over. Like this interesting house right here. But this house is listed for just under $4 million. Just a beautiful area through here too. You're close to the mountains, you're sheltered from the wind. So, I mean, this is prime real estate for Palm Springs, but you're gonna pay to live here. I mean, that house that I showed you was about $4 million. I think that was newer construction, but for the most part, you're in the 2s to 2.5. So the Mesa can be compared to, like I said, what we just came from in the northern parts of Palm Springs, but it's just like with any house that's tucked up against the mountain, it's considered a cove. So we've got, Palm Springs Cove, but they don't call it that. We've got Cathedral City Cove, we've got Rancho Mirage Cove, we've got La Quinta Cove. So there's just these like residential homes that are tucked up against the mountain, and you get the best views of the mountains. That's why La Quinta Cove is just such a great spot because of the views and also prices. You can get a solid house in La Quinta Cove for like $450,000. 1,300 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2 baths. I mean, it's easy. In this area, you're talking 2.5. So that's the difference. A lot of bikers in this area. Biking is huge and very, very popular out here. So right now we are in South Palm Springs, and for the most part, you've got a lot of land leases. You've got a lot of condo homes on the left-hand side, and you've got home homes on the right-hand side. This will also, if you continue going straight, will take you to the Indian Canyons, which is where you can go hiking.
There are also a ton of hiking spots in this area too. I used to go hiking here as a kid, and not only in my teens, but also as a little girl. I went with my brother one time. I remember him getting hurt. I remember him like falling down the mountain, or maybe it was someone else. I can't remember. You know how sometimes you have memories from your childhood that are kind of faint, and you can't really tell if they're like almost like if they're real or not, or if it's just like something your mind just made up. But I'm pretty sure my brother got hurt on that trail, steep incline. He decided to run and he fell. Could be someone else. Maybe he can comment to confirm. Wanted to take you to where they filmed Don't Worry Darling. It's like a really historic area. Canyon View Estates is just, I mean, it's the epitome of modern homes. It's featured in Modernism Week. So right now we're in Canyon View Estates. And this is on the other side. So I'm going to take you to actually the other side because they used that little cul-de-sac. And then the Palm Springs Mountain is the backdrop for the movie. Also, side note, you can get a really nice condo, not at Canyon View, but just in this area for like $350, $450. A very, very nice condo. I love this area. If I wasn't going to live in Desert Park Estates, which is where I grew up, I would live in South Palm Springs in a heartbeat. Just like I would live in South Palm Desert in a heartbeat as well, because you just have the best views. The streets are really wide. You've got sidewalks. You don't really see sidewalks in the area. Like Palm Desert Country Club, you've got sidewalks, but La Quinta Cove, you do not have sidewalks. So this would be part of the filming location for the movie. As you can see, we've got the beautiful mountains in the background. This is definitely iconic. Now, it might not be down this street specifically. I'm going to go down one more cul-de-sac. And again, if you haven't seen the movie, I definitely suggest that you do. I mean, these houses even across the way are just so beautiful. Because it's a good movie. It's a good movie. The acting is really great. And it's just like that time, that era of like 1940s, 50s of the styling, what people wore. Such a fun area through here. If you own a house in this area, you're very lucky.
So now I think that, and to tell you a little bit about the area that we're in, we're right by the golf course. Now we're getting into lease land, specifically Indian lease land. You have a lot of mid-century modern homes through here, and it's one of those things where you're either very much against lease land because your lease does not negate your property taxes. Like, you will have both. So, and your land leases can range per year. I've seen anywhere from $3,000 all the way up to $10,000 a year. And then you are still paying property taxes as well, but you do get really nice properties on Indian lease land. To me, it's like not a big deal, but some people are just really, really against it. Some of the questions that I get would be like, will Indian lease land homes take a little bit longer to sell? And I would say yes, because generally speaking, most people want fee land. They want to own the land. But if you think about it, because of property taxes, do we really own our land? Do we really? Right? If you don't pay your property taxes, who takes your property back, right? The government. So essentially, do we really own our lands? Probably not. In the grand scheme of things, probably not. With Indian lease land, it's just one of those things where technically you don't own your land, and you're paying to rent that land. Some people are concerned with what happens when the lease expires. Do they extend the lease? Do they demolish my property? They're not going to demolish your property, and also they're not going to increase your rate that much when it expires. And also, your lease is 100 years. And when they renew for another 100 years. They very rarely expire. And when they do, yes, there are increases in the lease, but they're relatively small because they don't want people selling their properties because they can't afford the land lease, because that's going to make property values really plummet if people can't afford the land lease. So just think about that, because a lot of people are super focused on fee land, but you can get a really great home in Palm Springs on Indian lease land and pay a little bit less out of pocket initially. Food for thought. Now we are taking you to that place that you've all been waiting for. And I'm going to tell you what this place is, but I'm only saying it because, for one, this is what we called it growing up. Things were much different back then. And if you Google it, it will still come up and people still label it as such. So I am by no means trying to be offensive to anyone. If anyone finds this offensive, I apologize. These are just words that we used to describe this little area in Palm Springs as teenagers because we didn't know any better. Back in the day, we used to call this place Midgetville. And it was this myth that all the little people, it was like the Munchkins from The Wizard of Oz, lived in like this little town or this little village, which it really is not the case, but is a really interesting spot, and I will tell you more once we get there. So we're passing lots of condos, little hotel, Club Trinidad, which is where like the Rat Pack would hang out. And then you've got buildings like this that are they're still vacant. They've been vacant for years. It actually used to be like a Coco's or a Marie Callender's. Nice little condos across the way. This is a nice little area. You've got apartment buildings, Cold Stone, Jensen's, you've got a World Market, a McDonald's. And then you also have I believe it's a TJ Maxx. I don't even know if you can get up there. I don't know if it's been closed off, gated off, or whatever. It's just one of those like Palm Springs myths that all the teenagers used to talk about back in the day. And it was also like a hangout spot too, where I was never a part of this, but, and I could be wrong, but like, you know, if you're on a date, you'd take your girlfriend up there like back in the day, and it was like a make-out point type thing. So we go up this road just a little bit, and then it pretty much ends. I haven't been up here in so long, I didn't even remember what it looks like. And we're right below actually Bob Hope's house, because the Bob Hope's house is on the other side of this mountain. You can't see it, but it's just up there. It's just such a gorgeous day in Palm Springs today. So clear, no wind. This is the Palm Springs that we all know and love. I think I was probably like 17 when I went up here with my friends. At night, mind you, because teenagers did stupid things back in the day. We were all a teenager once. Comment below the stupidest thing you've ever done. Although I didn't do anything too crazy. Now this property right in front of us, always been there. I don't even know if I can get back there, so if I see cones. Now, back in the day, now I'm gonna get out of my car. I'm gonna get out of my car first. All right, so here we go. Hopefully I won't get in trouble.
Now, before I continue on with my story of being a rotten teenager, Mom, still waiting for your comment because I'm digging myself a grave right now. This article from 2015 talks about the Palm Springs town. And this is, again, it's in Araby Cove in South Palm Springs, but it's just an urban legend. There was actually no substantial evidence that anyone, any little person ever stayed in this area. Now, this is a long-standing local legend about a cluster of tiny homes tucked away in the Araby Cove neighborhood. The story goes that actors who played Munchkins in The Wizard of Oz moved here after filming and built miniature houses to live in seclusion. Sounds like a Hollywood fairy tale, right? But here's the truth. The homes were actually built in the 1920s, long before the movie came out, and there's no historical proof that any of the Munchkin actors ever lived here. Still, the homes are real, and with their low doorways and quirky design, it's easy to see how the rumors stuck. These are private residences now, so you can't walk right up to them, but you can catch a glimpse of the Araby Trail if you're hiking nearby. It's a perfect mix of Palm Springs charm and urban legend. But as you can see, the homes themselves are not tiny. They are smaller in size, but they are not lower in height.
Like one of those no trespassing area. So I was maybe 16, 17, came up here with some friends and decided to take this little pathway through here at night. And I remember being so creeped out because it was dark. For one, we shouldn't have been there. It was very quiet too. Like no one was there. I think they were mostly vacant at the time because this was like early 2000s, like 2003. But we definitely had no business being there. I mean, it's a clear gate that says stop right there, like no trespassing. But I'm gonna turn the camera around now because you can see a little house down there. And it was just once thought that it was a little village that people lived. You can see all the way to North Palm Springs. You see all the way to the windmills. But right now that you actually can rent out one of those houses. They do have their own little mailbox. So there you go. This is call it Munchkin land, or you cannot go down there. But it is an absolutely beautiful day today. So as we wrap up the driving tour of Palm Springs, I think I probably missed some things. If there's anything that you want me to dive further into that you're curious about, I've kind of thought about doing another driving tour from starting like North Palm Springs down Highway 111 ending in Indio. That would be like a 2-hour-long video probably. But if you want to see something like that or any other suggestions. But yeah, so this is Brandy. If you're looking to move to this beautiful desert area, I would love to talk with you. I help people from all over the world, the US. I've helped people from Dubai, London. I've helped people from France. So if you're looking to relocate or purchase a vacation home, I'm your desert girl. So I hope to hear from you. We will see you on the next video. Over and out.